Now, really quickly,
Hold
on, really quickly. Tribal leadership, leveraging natural groups to build a thriving organization. Dave Logan, John King, a book you should go get. Corey Holcomb. Then Jeff
First
Brown.
of all, I just want to say Martin Luther King's biggest mistake was not throwing rocks back at them motherfuckers. Because had he threw rocks back, he wouldn't be out there wasting his time marching. Because he would be certain who they are and what they are intending to do to him.
Wow.
By not throwing the rocks, it amused them when they was like, look, this motherfucker led a whole bunch of motherfuckers out here where we could throw rocks at these stupid motherfuckers and they sing and hope it get better.
Wow.
He led people amok. It's just, it sounds wrong to say it, but he fucked up real bad.
Do you think this,
so? Bobby?
Do you think, wait,
Let me say this. Let me say this about the other thing the doc was said about life sucks, the gangbanger mentality. No, that's not the mentality of gangbangers. What happens is you get some people who are powerful and evil to lead the weak. And the weak in everybody's army are the main motherfuckers out there on the front line doing weak shit. You know what I'm saying?
So the gang.
So it's not like life sucks. It's just weak motherfuckers get manipulated.
Hey, Doc, let Jeff Brown, because he had a point. Go ahead, Jeff.
I think everything that you just said was true, Doc. But here's the issue: when you separate them, you are separating these minds and assuming that they are different tribes. When I am telling you that all of those minds are in one tribe, that it is possible to think that life sucks, my life sucks, and I am great can live in the same head. I'm also, the one thing I truly take issue with that you did right before you said anything was that you mentioned that the author of the book was Asian.
No. The head of Zappos.
The head of Zappos.
Right.
You mentioned that somebody was Asian and that we were going to
That
pick
was the head of Zappos.
that we were going to pick that apart. Here's my only problem with that. Black people don't pick race apart first. Okay?
Well, I was being racist.
It's impossible for me to be racist because
but that
you
was
don't have the power.
No, but it was a racist comment that irked you because I was assuming that evidence.
If you never lived the luxury brown, you can never speak on it. If you never lived the luxury brown, you can never speak on it. You don't know what's happening. You do not know what it's like to walk outside that door and face what I'm going to face
when you leave here.
All day in
outside
America.
that door.
All day in America.
When people speak on it, it blows my mind. Like, really, you think you know because you read a book?
I don't care that you think I thought what you said was racist. My issue comes from why do black people always go to race? Well, we don't go to race first. That's like somebody busts me in my face and you go, why is Jeff always swinging? Well, Jeff got hit in the fucking face. That's why.
That's why he's always swinging.
Thank you.
Great point.
Yes, we don't go to race first. Black people are not, there's no such thing as a primarily racist black individual.
People are always trying to break down this, that, and the other about what's happening in this country. Bottom line, there's some evil motherfuckers in charge who are playing Connect Four with everybody's life.
Oh, God. Listen, we got to take a quick break when we come back. This is a very interesting topic because there's a lot of hurt in it. You can hear that
sugar just low. I didn't eat enough this morning. I'm on this vegan shit.
We'll be back at 2.2. Jeff go get a snack and we'll holler.
Snickers.
In the last 2 months of his life, Dr. King faced the idea that civil rights alone could not solve the problem of poverty.
In Mississippi today. Okay, thank you for
He roamed the South, trying to gain support for Poor People's Campaign. Its goals: full employment, a guaranteed income, and decent housing for every American.
People just don't know, but it's really hard. Not only me, it's so many more in the same shape. I'm not the only one. It's just so many of us right around. Just don't have shoes, clothes. They're naked and hungry. Part time you have to cook your children pinto beans morning, down, and supper. They don't know what else get a good meal.
You all are really to be admired. And I want you to know that you have my moral support. I'm going to be praying for you. I'm going to be coming back to see you. And we are going to be demanding when we go to Washington that something be done and done immediately about these conditions. Yes.
This was a different Martin Luther King. Just weeks before his murder, in tones suggestive of the Black Panthers, He began to talk about how the government had broken its promise to the newly freed slaves just after the Civil War.
Speculation has been raised on the reasons for NATO's intervention in Libya. And as RT's Laura Emmett reports, the organisation may have been trying to prevent Gaddafi from burying the American buck.
According to some, it's about protecting civilians.
We must not tolerate this regime using military force against its own people.
Others say it's about oil.
The only reason they're interested with Libya is about the oil. You think we'd be in Iraq if the major export there was broccoli?
But some are convinced intervention in Libya is all about currency, specifically Gaddafi's plan to introduce the gold dinar, a single African currency made from gold, a true sharing of the wealth.
It's one of these things that you have to plan almost in secret, because as soon as you say you're going to change over from the dollar to something else, you're going to be targeted. There were two conferences on this, one in 96 and another one in the year 2000, called the World Mataba Conference, organized by Gaddafi. And everybody was interested, and I think most countries in Africa were keen.
Gaddafi didn't give up. In the months leading up to the military intervention, he called on African and Muslim nations to join together to create this new currency that would rival the dollar and euro. They would sell oil and other resources around the world only for gold dinars. It's an idea that would shift the economic balance of the world. Countries' wealth would depend on how much gold they have, not how many dollars they trade. And Libya has 144 tons of gold. The UK has double that, but 10 times the population.
If Gaddafi had an intent to try to reprice his oil or whatever else the country was selling on the global markets and accept something else as a currency, or maybe launch a gold dinar currency, any move such as that would certainly not be welcomed by the power elite today who are responsible for controlling the world's central banks. So yes, that would certainly be something that would cause his immediate dismissal and the need for other reasons to be brought forth for removing him from power.
It's happened before. In 2000, Saddam Hussein announced Iraqi oil would be traded in euros, not dollars. Sanctions and an invasion followed. Some say because the Americans were desperate to prevent OPEC from transferring oil trading in all its member countries to the euro. The UK's gold is kept here in a secure vault somewhere in the depths of the Bank of England. As in most developed countries, there's not enough to
Let me tell you something. If you go out and vote after seeing something like this, you are part of the problem.
And this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. It's very disheartening because we have black elite in America today looking down on impoverished blacks. When you look at the larger global scale of things, we are not a part of these global decisions. We're just end users buying Jordans.
Money, clothes, and hoes, nigga.
That's all we doing. Right? So when I see something like that, to me, Gaddafi was practicing group economics. Do you see that?
That's the point I was trying to make, Zoe. If you do something like that one dude, what was his name? Dr. Who?
Claude Anderson.
Claude Anderson was talking all this stuff about this plan. your plan can never amount to nothing in this country because there's somebody standing over you with a gun over your head.
No, it could.
For anything you create. Until you address the enemy, have your war where he either wins or you loses, you're not going to be able to do that.
What you're saying is true in a vacuum. That shit that Gaddafi was about to do,
that was
yes,
gangster.
it could.
Yeah,
Because
that was
that's
big.
the true gangster shit.
Like he said, they
which
put
is the
sanctions on
destruction-
them to go out there and get them,
This
right?
is what I'm saying. The destruction of the dollar. Unless and until, when you talk about black unity, you will have none until the dollar disappears. Because nobody separates black people like black people with money. Nobody.
Look, nobody also gives credit to black people for not respecting money. We don't respect that shit because we know it is the enemy. It doesn't matter how you get it or where you get it or whatever. That shit is part of the destruction of your race. It's nothing. It's paper.
Well, the doctor had a good point, too, about the anticipatory fuck you. Talk to me about that really quickly, Doc.
Did he say fuck you?
That's what he said.
F you. You can.
Okay,
say,
I'll say fuck you. It means the same thing. If you say F and
So
you mean
say
fuck,
it. No,
it means
hold
the
on.
same thing.
Say it really quickly, then Bobby's going to wrap the point.
Okay, and I don't know a way around this, but and it's not. There's a lot of people, and justifiably, they have this what I call the anticipatory FU, and what that means, and sometimes a lot of husbands have that with their women, that no matter what you say, they're going to be disappointed. So you kind of anticipate that they're going to criticize you, even though you've done nothing wrong. And so when you go into anything with an anticipatory FU, you're already geared for war, and what happens is it escalates. You build off each other. Now, again, I'm not saying you can. I'm not saying you can anticipate cooperation. But
Why
the point
should
is,
I?
No, but there's no track record. But the point is,
Thank you.
no, but here's the thing.
For 2,000
No, but listen. No, here, I don't know the answer. I'm asking you to weigh in. But if you go into a conversation that hasn't begun and you have an anticipatory FU, you anticipate...
A lot of bullshit happened in the past.
Okay. Right. I understand that. No, a lot of bullshit
But Doc, you do have to see also, I'm going to let you finish the point, but you have to see where they're coming. They're saying if you got 300 years of bullshit past, how can you not come into it with an anticipatory FU?
To a conversation with a desperate...
Let him finish.
Well, I guess I anticipated the FU in my case right here. But
no, not a FU, because FU would mean I don't love you, Doc. But you can anticipate this with the rest of what you're saying. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, because you know what? It's hard for us.
Get the fuck out
Almost
of here.
everybody I know who act like ain't nothing wrong be bullshitting.
Ooh, Bobby, can you wrap it? Can you wrap a taste on it, Bobby?
I'm supposed to wait. I can't hold this. I'm supposed to go in and not expect fuck you from a dude with fuck you written on his t-shirt. Get the fuck out of here.
Bobby,
it's history.
Let Bobby wrap it. Bobby?
Real quickly, the one thing we can learn from the Jews is leverage.
Ooh, very good.
Because the reason there's a Jewish state is because there was a greater interest from the American perspective that they have a portal into the Middle East. What black folks can learn from what's going on in terms of what happened historically with the Jewish community and their survival and their ability to thrive worldwide is leverage. Right now, Chinese are building all over the world. They're building in Africa. I'm talking about infrastructure. They're building downtown Los Angeles like crazy. All right, so it becomes a perceived value thing. What Gaddafi did when he gave Farrakhan $5 million several years ago was create leverage. We need to replicate those models of possibility to offset the inherent problems and the historical issues that we already have to deal with every day.
I disagree. That's arranging
He
deck
wasn't
chairs.
allowed to bring the money in the country. Just like you won't be allowed to.
He wasn't allowed to bring Gaddafi's money. Now make your point.
Uncle Bobby, this is one of the rare times I disagree with you.